Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Airport CEO. So we're pretty well set up now with the small flights. We've even got franchising going on over here. So I'm hoping we will make a bit of money from that. We'll keep an eye on whether that does in fact happen. Refunds, oh interesting. So if we have, so from franchise rent at the moment, we're making a little bit of money. From the sales cuts, not that much, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. These guys might go under if they don't actually sell their requirement 10 of 245. This one is doing a little bit better, so this one will probably keep going, and it's doing pretty decently over here. I'm not too sure about that one, but anyway, what we need to do now is start planning our operation for larger flights. I do want to clean all of this up at the same time. So the idea would be that we try and identify a little bit of an area for that also. Now, if I go into toggle planning mode, and I'll keep the game running so we bring in a bit of money at the same time. So now we've got, so the question is, we need a medium, some form of medium operation at some point, but at this point in time we need a medium runway at the cost of, oh, it's not that expensive actually, $500,000 for that one, for the concrete ones. This is $750 for the big one. We're not going to go with the big one. What is that? It's almost nothing. Okay. Now, what's the size of the big one? Let's have a quick look at the big one then. If we go with the big one, even the big one is pretty easy for us to accommodate. Ooh, actually, down that stretch may be less of an issue. Can't scale out any further unless hang on. Let's have a quick look. What's happening now? Mayday, mayday, mayday. Edwards Bay flight EB51 weight class is experiencing fuel warning emergency and requires unspecified assistance. Refusing or failing correctly handle this emergency landing will incur a harsh fine and security rating. Yes, we'll accept that. That means this emergency flight needs to be slotted in straight away. We will slot it directly into number 5 there. So Edwards Bay is not actually one that we've got something sorted out with. We don't have an arrangement. We don't have a contract with them. So let's have a quick look at what's happening with Edwards Bay, and then we'll go back to planning things out a little bit. I believe that's the one. That was just a fuel emergency, so it's going to go straight into there, and that was it. That's really it, right? So what is happening over here? I would assume that we're going to have some fuel to come and fuel it. It's getting a bit of a checkout there. It's getting some fuel. Yes, that's good. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, getting some fuel sorted out, and resolved. Wow, that was pretty straightforward, and to be honest, more the kind of emergencies that you would expect at airports, really, that kind of thing. There we go, and it's been handled beautifully. Our ability to handle isn't going to be analyzed. We'll get an email. Okay, all good. Now, let's go back here. I think graphic settings, I think we can scale. It's the UI only, is it? So if I do that, right, you would hardly be able to see. And we still, I mean, it's not zoomed out to an extent that we can actually do that. So if I go now, grab the, you can barely see the buttons, but it's still not quite sorting itself out. So I'll just sort that back. That's a little graphic settings. I can barely see anything. Zone overlay opacity, that's definitely not the one. I'll go at around 90. I think I ran this at about 80 in the past, but I think I'll run it at around 90 just so you guys can see it a little bit better. I think that was kind of a bit of an issue. Compress images, disable weather effects, VSync. Probably should be doing VSync, shouldn't we? Anyway, have a quick look at that. Oh, quality level. Can we up it here? I don't know if we can up it here. Oh no. Shouldn't have done that. I probably dropped a lot of this stuff. Oh, I think this game is now crashing. Yeah, setting the quality while the simulation is running. Oh, actually. Oh, it looks surprisingly... Wow. It looks much better, actually. It looks really much better. I don't know why I haven't been playing it that way. I think I was playing it that way in the past, but because of some operations issues, and of course I was also playing on the laptop as well. So I think in the past I did do it that way. Now let's go back over here and see about a medium runway. Medium runway can... Now I don't... The issue that I have with the medium runway is I want it pretty close by so that it's not a long taxiway. Okay, so maybe something like this, right over there, is kind of what I would be after. All right. Would you see them? Yeah, I think you would see them like that, right? I think you would see them. You would see them like that. Now, anyway, what I would like to do is give it a little bit of space in between. We're still on the planning mode. Oh, there it goes dark now. I'll do a little something like this. Okay, so if we do that in terms of planning, then we want to get our mediums ramp offs here. Yeah, maybe that's not quite the one. Multiple terminal projects has been done. Can we, maybe if we do this one instead, it's going to be easier to potentially work. If I do one there and one there, okay, and yeah, that's about right. And then one over here for people to start joining it. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. Now, what I would want to do is leave this space here for a bit of an emergency and / vehicle cluster. So that's okay. At the same time, I'm also going to start looking at doing some taxiways. We'll just do the asphalt taxiways. Now, I believe for mediums, we wanted to do 5 plus a little bit of extra room. So if we did, say, something like that. Up to about there, then we see about maintaining that. That's 5, right? Now, I wouldn't necessarily want to use too much space here. So if we run it, that's 6, right? That is 5. I think 5 is the right number. And all we need to do is maintain a buffer in between. So if we run that all the way there, we'll trim that back. And now what we need to do is see about expanding it into this area. Let's go back and see our R&D operations, so multiple terminal operations. Now we can start looking at ultimate commercial license. So let's start that and keep that running. We should have, we can drop this one a little bit. We can, well, that one's done. We'll need to drop that one a little bit as well and see about doing that. Now that should run. There we go. That is working. Now this guy, Quality Kitchens is underway. We can do catering services. What is that? Minimum of 2. So let's do that. Catering services, we'll put our 2 on there and that'll start running itself out there. Awesome. So that'll work. Now we need to continue to have a look at this. Now I don't mind this operation. This will give us a little bit of a chunk here. Now, in order for us to continue this, I wouldn't mind if we'll need to do a little something like this. Now the question is, instead of well, what we will need to do is we will most certainly need to run multiple paths. So if we do this, right? Yeah, unfortunately that. Okay, so if that's coming back this way, we may need to run, well, and that's not actually leaving enough space in between, is it? Okay, so what we'll do is we will have to trim it out on this side. And do we run it straight down there, or do we? Yeah, I think we will need to run it straight down here and see about something like this and something like. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it. Oh, but what we could do is we could do a little something like that. Right? We could run something like this and just see that we have our 5 through there. That's not too bad, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're running our 5 through there. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a little bit more interesting, right? It's a little bit more interesting than our usual. And then what we'll need to do is now we'll just have to have a look at how we run dual taxiway operation. So if we run it that way, and then of course what we'll need to do is run it off this way. Now, before we start planning any further, let's get our mediums. Okay, and let's is this all tied together? Not quite. So let's get our fencing sorted out. Move our fences over a little bit. Oh, there we go. We're getting some stuff there. Now let's get this fencing sorted out. Pop that in, and that I will need to. Oh, this is terminal operations, and that I will need to do that. So then we can get rid of this, and we can start planning out. Ooh, don't do that. We can start planning out the rest. Money is still looking good. It's almost back up to 2 million. Now let's have a quick look at what we're going to do here with our terminal parking. So. Unfortunately, that means we're not really going to be squeezing in a lot. Oh, and it needs to be this way around, doesn't it? We could certainly do something like that. But then we'll have to expand the entire terminal a little bit. If we do that. If we do that, it means we'll be able to squeeze in a little bit more. So let's have a look at what that means. We do this, right? This is only planning at this stage. Oh, no, it's not planning. Crap. Close that immediately, and let's just leave it in there. I can't believe it toggled back without me realizing it. It's a bit of a challenge if it does that, doesn't it? There we go. And like so, right? So we won't really be able to squeeze in much more than, say, 3 of them over here. So alternatively, what we could do is we could run it, well, then we'll only squeeze in 2, right? We do that, and we do that, and we do this. We'll be able to squeeze in a 3rd over there, right? Like so. Just thinking about, is that appropriate? I think that's not too bad. I don't want to put it up against this side. There is going to be appropriate. It should be fine. We'll have a fair bit of room upstairs, and we'll definitely do the upstairs component of it. But if we'll move this one over here, I think that's going to be okay. It'll be a little bit more interesting. I think I'm going to do that. Let's clear this one out. I'm hoping we get. I hope that refund is pretty decent. Half. We get half back. So that wasn't quite what I had in mind. Anyway, so we'll go there. We're still on planning, right? There we go. Planning there. Now, what we'll need to do is we'll need some service roads to hook us up like so, and we'll need some service roads to run through there. So we'll allow for that over here, and we'll allow for service roads right over here. Now, I will need to start sorting out my fencing. So with this in mind, let's quickly go back to toggling off planning. Let's sort out our fencing. Yeah, that's all planning stuff there. Yeah, that all good, all good. Okay, so let's run fencing up there. Okay. And we'll run fencing through that way. Around there. Around here. Whoops. And all the way through here. Right? There we go. So now we've got some proper fencing all set up on the outside of that, which means we could trim back some other fencing. That guy needs to actually disappear, doesn't he? He will, I believe he will disappear. I believe he will disappear because he's now fully fenced in. I believe he slowly just goes and disappears, right? Yeah, there we go. He did disappear, so let's trim back all of this. I've also had a comment saying I can use the control button plus the thing that I'm building to delete them a little bit more easily, which I am aware of. Okay, so with that in mind, I think what we'll do is we will need to have a look at how we're going to sort out the path, the car arrangements. Let's go back to the planning toggle. We will clear out this and clear out that. Now, I am quite comfortable with maintaining this as a taxiway, asphalt taxiway piece. So let's do that. There we go, taxiway over there. Now, the question for me is, do I actually allow for a little bit of stuff in here? And I think the answer is yes. So I think the idea here is 5 over here is what we're going to do. And then we'll have 5 like this, and like that, and like that. And that should provide us with sufficient spacing. And if we run it up to there and we do 5 up this way, and we'll do the next one up like that. Whether we need multiples, I don't quite know, but I am pretty keen to make sure that we've got a pretty good operation ultimately. Now, the question is, I'm not too sure whether this is really a requirement. So and it does look a little funny to me. So let's just do that, clear out all of this stuff. And to be honest, we could just do that. That's a full 6, right? Now there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a little bit of area in there. So this will allow at least multiple operations. So we will in here potentially have to run the other one. So potentially we'll do this. Okay. I'm thinking it's probably something like this. Here we go. I don't mind that, though. For 3 planes, I think this is a little bit of overkill for 3 planes. So I'm not sure that's really the way to do it. This will allow us some additional facilities. I like the idea of building a few things in here and having them all connected. That's good. Now go back to this. We'll think about that a little bit more. So there we go. So that's our roadway access points. We can continue to run that to the other side there. I think this is overkill in this situation because we're not going to, unless we leave that in place for the big guys to also come down here. Because I think the big guys will have to park directly on here. And even this is not going to be big enough. Yeah, so the question is, do we expand our terminal operations? What this will allow us to do is provide for something in this area that could be a satellite operation. So we could do a satellite operation in the future, but I think for the time being, this is kind of what I have in mind here. This is kind of the one that I have in mind here. So let's leave it as is, and we'll start switching things on as we do. But what I want to do is quickly start planning out the rest of the terminal. Actually, I will need to do a little bit more foundation work down there. That's okay. I don't mind that too much. And then we'll definitely need to do at least something like this and tie that in over there. So that I think is the bare minimum of what we may require, and we can do some lounges up here. Yeah, we could do that. We could even extend it in here and get some proper lounge pieces in there. So we could make use of those little areas there. Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be a useful use of it. Now the question is, do we do that? Oh crap! Whew. I thought that was a bit of a. The question is, do we do something like this instead? At least as a starting point, maybe. So let's fix the wall, and let's clear out the walls on these other guys. Look, those are too small for lounges, so I don't think we can use them for lounges in any kind of capacity. But they could be quite useful as part of a little shop or something like that. So now we've got security access up here. That would work, I think. I believe that'll be quite good. So we can start looking at that direct access point. Now, how are we going to go about channelizing our exit? I think, can I can't actually upgrade that to have a look. So if I go down there, it's in on the right. Oh, there it is. In on the right, out on the left, which is not great. It's not really the way I would have liked it to work. But anyway, we're going to deal with that. So what I would like to do is actually get ourselves a bit of a channelization. Can I drop it there? I can, in fact, drop it there. So what I would like to do is do this. I need to secure this zone first. So let's quickly plan out the secure zone. There we go. Plan out these secure zones here. Come on, all of them, please. Okay, that should be good. Now we should be able to grab our escalator. Go upstairs. Yeah, the escalator right over here. I think that is awesome. To have it right there is going to be awesome. It's going to be really good. Now, from that perspective, here we will also want to now kind of close off all of that. I like the idea of doing so. Get ourselves some of the, maybe the big doors instead. We'll do a big door there, big door here, and a big door over there. We can do one way, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the other. Okay, and then from here, what I'll need to do is actually assign us the boarding stuff. So I'll go with, I think 2 is going to be appropriate. We'll just do the 2 and the 2 and the 2. There we go. There we go. That should actually work quite nicely. So then exiting people can go out through that way, and it's just as a bit of a channelization. But we won't open it up over here. We'll open it up on that side, and then we have a pretty clear run to the exit over here and to get package collection going. That is it, guys. I think that is how we're gonna do it. I think as a starting point, we're probably not going to do this one. And we'll run it up to there, and what will happen is there'll be a little section of waiting happening. So it'll be down this way and then up that way, really. And then this one can cross over this way and come back this way. Yeah, that's going to be okay, I think. So we'll be able to use that. Okay, that's all good. Now, the next step that we need to do is I need a little bit of vehicle depot stuff here. It's not in here. It is... Oh, and the other thing that I forgot is we probably need some hangers. Hangers we could do over here, I think. Yeah, that's good. That'll actually be pretty good, the medium hangers. If we do a medium hanger in there, potentially, or over here. Yeah, over here feels right to me. Now, let's just get the airport stuff going. So we need a vehicle depot. We could put hangars in here or put remote stands in here. So I'm not going to fill this particular area up. What I will do, however, is squeeze in a depot over there. The next piece is we will need, we need a proper medium, but the jet fuel I'm gonna place in here, I think. It just makes sense to have it all the way on this corner. So that's okay. The next thing we're going to do is going to have the waste depot. Ooh, and the catering needs to go in here also. Just thinking about it now. Now the waste depot is becoming a bit of a challenge. So the waste depot, I think, is going to have to squeeze in like there. We've got something. Mayday. It was by flight. Today is experiencing in-flight security emergency. Let's pause it. And requires airport police car assistance. Refusing or failing to handle will incur some harsh fines. Okay, let's accept it. Now, we need to give it a landing slot, which we can do because we're doing a decent job. So we should be able to get that landed straight away. The airport police car is coming on over here, and then Edwards Bay will come on in. So let's clear out this guy for the time being, and we'll go back to, well, actually, let's go to R&D and see if we've got stuff done. Okay, so the kitchen is done. Catering service is underway. De-icing permit. So let's start the de-icing piece of work here. That catering service is going to be done in just a minute. Excellent. The airport police car is done. Here it is. Here comes the Edwards Bay flight that is undergoing an emergency. We'll see how that goes. Will it actually unload people is what I'm quite interested in understanding. Let's speed it up and see what's happening. Oh, the police is doing something. Oh, they actually loaded someone. And now I'm assuming the flight will just continue. Excellent. That worked really well. Okay, and it's been resolved. Nice. I like the fact that we're dealing with emergencies pretty easily. That extra stand is a pretty good job. Okay. Continue playing the game. R&D. Catering service done. The icing is underway. Well, let's grab the bigger fuel tanks. Okay. And 2, get the bigger fuel tanks going, the icing permits. Okay, so what do we need to do? Let's have a quick look again at some of the servicing things over here. So catering Now, catering needs direct access. So I'm almost tempted to do catering over there with a bit of a tunnel underneath, right? That feels slightly more right to me if we do catering on this side and then we have a bit of a tunnel to the other side. If I have a look at this guy, the waste depot, yeah, but the waste depot needs a bit of that too. So let's plan out a little bit of stuff here. So if I say let's start it off. Let's get this guy in place. Something like that, right? Okay, and then we'll do the waste side of things. Now, my issue here, I was thinking this could be a useful way of doing it, but I'm just thinking about it as well. If we do multiple kind of service access points, that might not want to work because this guy does need service accessibility. This guy needs service accessibility. Let's leave it there for the time being and we'll have a quick look at it. Oh, yeah, well, we'll have to run in here and see about that. But let's quickly get our emergency services. Our emergency services are going to go in here. Let's quickly plan that out. So the emergency stuff, we would like it pretty well cleared from that. So let's do this. Well, let's do that as a starting point because we do need some clearance, okay? And then we'll do this one. Now I don't want it in the runway path, and maybe that's a little bit, let's clear that out. I'm sorry, I'm a little planning things out over here. So if I do this over here somewhere, right in the middle, that should be quite reasonable for access. Right, there we go. So if we do something like that, and then we'll get the police one to do something like this. All right, that's reasonable, isn't it? Okay, that looks pretty interesting as well. Now, if we then go with the service road, so if we do that and that, and that and that, so we'll have a little bit of a internal area here. And then what we can do is run paths to various runways. So we can basically run paths to connect over here or over here. Move this one out a little bit so it actually ties in together over there. Something like that makes sense to me. And I think what we do need to do is we will have to build these quickly. I think they're not too expensive, so we can go ahead and give them a build. Okay, they're not quite accessible just yet. So now we've switched this back on again. So the question is, do we... I think ultimately I want to move these down a little bit so we've got a little bit more room there. So I don't think we need that. So probably I'm going to line it up there. We're going to do this. We're going to run across there. And we'll do that for now. But I think what I'm going to do is ultimately these guys are going to be moving down here. And that's basically how we're going to do it. So let's do that for now. That's the accessibility on this side. I'm pretty keen on potentially just doing the accessibility over here also. But anyway, that should do the trick for now. So that gives us a little bit of interest at our airport police stations and things over there. We could do de-icing and things like that later on. Okay, now that's been built. So what I can do is I can actually move this car to there, please. And I can move that one over there, and I can move that one over there, and then I can switch this one off, and I can switch that one off, and I can ultimately get rid of them, and we can reuse this space for something a little bit more efficient. So that's still, I'm still planning those mediums. That should do pretty well. Now, ultimately, I do need us to do a proper, yeah, so that's not quite what I had in mind. Now, okay, so what I could do instead is I could actually do these facilities over here. So let's quickly fix up the fence again. So I'm going to go and provide the fence line over there and remove the rest of that. Yeah, I think that's about right. So that piece can kind of stay there. This is kind of looking decent. We could obviously move it out a little bit if we wanted to. Anyway, so that's kind of the idea. But we can also then make a little bit of a gap in the fence to allow for this guy, which won't actually connect properly where it is, right? So if I go back into planning, please. Planning, and go with the catering services. So if I do this, right, I can have it straight up against the fence, but I will need an access way. So that means I'll have to run it over there. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so let's run. And the question is, do I just move it up all the way up there and run it on the inside? I have to see. I'm going to get rid of this. So can I please? Oh, I haven't built it yet. Okay, can we? I will need to get rid of this. I will need to move these things around, and those are moving down. Actually, to be honest, just need to remember that. So actually, can I close some of these? Let's quickly do that. Let's move these first. We'll move them down. We want this at 5 plus a little bit of gap. So we can, of course, I think, oh, I don't think we can. We can't actually move anything further on that side. Speed things up a little bit so we can get rid of these flights. It's going to keep costing us money to do stuff like this. Yeah, I'm just going to move it a little bit. I think that should give us a fair bit of room. Okay. Okay. Everything is moving. Those guys. Yeah, taking it slow, but planning things out and using space pretty efficiently is the plan. There we go. You're out. You're closed. What? What do you mean? Can't believe it. I need to get this one out as soon as I can. Okay, so yeah, there we go, and close it. Yes, thank you. Okay, all good. Now, as soon as that guy leaves, what we can do in the meantime is we can plan out a little bit of a path situation right there. This path needs to move, by the way. And that means we can start demolishing these things. Let's demolish that one. Demolish that one. Demolish this one. Demolish that one. I'll keep these two. Okay, but what we can do is start planning on how this is going to work. The new ones. So it's the small ones, and we'll just go with the asphalt ones for now. And the intent was we line it up literally 2 down. The 2 down. So it needs to go in there, and that means we'll have to move that entire thing. And we'll need to provide a gap as well. Okay, so let's get our depot sorted. I need a depot somewhere, even if it is just an interim depot. Okay, so we can just do maybe a car park then. We'll just do this parking facility. Where will we could squeeze it in? Let's just squeeze it in here for the time being, and we'll move things over there. Crap. Can I hit that and just move you over there, please? And move you over there, please. We'll close that. Oh, they'll actually move themselves over there. So then we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of some of this and see how that goes. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a little bit more room here. I can clean this up in a while. Now, my question was, do we have these guys all the way to the end? And I think the answer is yes, we do. Continue to have them all the way to the end, moving 2 down. Yeah, I think for these small planes, we're probably going to be okay with just the 5 like that. So let's squeeze them in here. Okay, and what I would like to do is do some asphalt taxiway. So now we've got 3, right? So what we'll do is we'll widen that out to 5. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Why is this guy not leaving? Oh, it's probably a new one. Let's dismiss this flight, please, and close this one out. Excellent. And now, can we demolish it this way? No, we cannot. We'll have to do this. Here we go. There we go. And there we go. Get rid of those. Okay, give me a little bit of extra taxiway here. Like so. Start closing those up. Now, we need to run this one down here. Tie this in here. And we'll clean that up. Oh. Anyway, that's okay for now. Okay, that's all good. This will be our GA stuff. Look at that guy. Oh, there we go. Nice GA access right over there. I didn't quite want to jump straight into operations. But anyway, that's okay. Let's pause it just for a second while we quickly fix it. I'm spending a few more minutes on this. Why? Okay, we've got the icing stuff. Can I start removing some of it at least? At least we'll get a little bit better with that now. Okay, so we've got that going on. We do need our road access. Let's quickly fix that. And we'll do a little something like this. We will have to run it out this way. I do want a little bit of a gap in between there. So ultimately, what I need to do is this. We'll clean that one out there. Actually, need to make sure that you're properly running like so. And we can divert it through there. I think that's okay. I will clean out all of that. I will clean out all of this. I want to quickly just fix this section. And then from there, we'll take it. Let's pause it. I'm hoping I can get rid of those now. Almost done. Almost done with fixing that. Okay. So give me a little bit more of this here. There. There. Let's dismiss all of these flights. Nice, there we go. Let's demolish these. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. Now what I'll need to do is actually, and this thing is going to be in the way yet again. Okay. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what we do here. I should be able to, ever so quickly, get rid of that. Okay. And then we can tie these guys in. Let's just get the taxiway sorted out. Okay. That means we would like to please run it through there and remove that side. Hopefully we can remove all of those. Perfect. That's all done. Remove this thing. Set two-way. The one-way needs to be here. Remove that one. Set two-way. The one-way needs to be here. There we go. There we go. That's awesome. Now let's get those other stands in. We can do a few more. Ooh. I'll need to just remove these paths a little bit. So let's remove some of that. I do need this one to run straight through that way. Okay. But let's get them in here first. How's our money? Our money is beautiful. Our money is beautiful. Oh, not medium. Small. Small for GA, please. There, there. And probably not there then. So we'll just have those. And then we'll have a little bit of an open spot, which can potentially be used for a bit of a depot, ultimately. So that's our access point to the runway for the emergency vehicles. This thing will run straight through here. Similarly, let's quickly get them in place. These guys. So if I go with, if we're not going to put another one in there, I believe two away should be fine. So if we do this, 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 and this, and we can squeeze another one in there, but that should be okay. So this is 6 plus 4 gives us a full complement of 10 of them. We could have now moved it over to have it there. Right, and then we'll have room on this side potentially. So there we go. So I think that's kind of the intent here. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly fix this road section. Trim that back out up to there and there and tie those together. So now we've actually got a pretty decent operation through there. Now, my question with some of these things is, do we have everybody run through there? Or do we do a little something like this and provide ourselves with a bit of a roundabout in here? So if you're going that way, so that means we'll do this, right? And then we'll do a bit of a one-way operation through here. So I like that. I don't mind that at all. So now you can run that way or you can run this way. Let's put the one-ways in there. Okay, so we'll run a one-way operation through here, right? I believe that should actually work. We'll run that one-way through there. And I can clean out this road and we can start getting ready for the other stuff. Oops, not quite what I wanted to do. There we go. Close that out. I wouldn't mind moving this. I need a new piece. I need to get rid of that, build a proper facility in here. And then moving that one to somewhere over here where it's close by these guys. This still needs to be accessible, so let's quickly fix that. And I think that's going to be the end of this episode. It's been a pretty long one, but we are slowly changing and improving all the little things that forms part of our Rampage's servicing GA scheduled departure as discovered equipment failure or deeming the aircraft not airworthy. So it needs to go to one of these hangars, which is going to be okay. No problem with that whatsoever. Let's quickly slot this in. I believe that should work. Yeah, there we go. So that should work. This is coming back around this way. Yeah, and it'll get into the hangar. No problems whatsoever. So now we've got GA running again over here, which is kind of the intent, to make sure that we've got the GA going. This guy's doing its thing, and we do need to put some stuff in here. Yes, I want to make sure we properly use some of these areas. I do like our little runway. I think that'll work quite nicely. I'm going to turn through there. What we could do, you know what? Well, sorry, I'm gonna have a quick look at this. Would this act like a sensible roundabout? Not at all. Not at all. Take it back out. Take it back out. Just make sure to actually do this. Right, just to make sure that they can't go anywhere else. Yeah, maybe turn around or something. There we go. Something like that is what I'm after. This guy can go that way, so that's okay. Let's just do that. That should be all good. So that's our little roundabout there. That'll work. We're going to make this look pretty and nice, and we could even maybe get this to go in there. We could. It'll be nice and central, to be honest. But we'll need some parking for it, though. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Let's squeeze that in. And that's going to have to be the end of the episode, guys. This has taken me so long to get this planning sorted. So if I go with a medium-sized avgas, I don't need a medium-sized. I'm just going to go with a small one. The small one fits in there really nicely. I don't think we need any larger stuff. That'll make use of that area a little better. Also thinking we need our air traffic control somewhere over here. Probably over here or over here. Over there. In here maybe. Yeah, I could go in here. Okay, so I think that spot's probably going to be good. Then we can clear this out. So give me just give me the asphalt here. We'll quickly asphalt that up. And what we'll do is we'll go straight around, actually, do that, asphalt it up properly. Actually, even do that. I mean, with the cement, the concrete tiles. And what we'll do is we'll run concrete tiles on that side. That looks pretty good, and I'm kind of tempted to use a little bit of a gate in here as well, just to kind of make it look a little bit more natural. I need to end the episode. If I do this, there we go. So just a little bit like that. So it's a little cleaned up a bit, and we can put some lighting in there and things like that. So that's basically going to be the one. And then what I'll do is I will switch this one off, please. We'll get that one to be filled up. And that'll go from there. Can I? Yeah, so once that's delivered, we should be able to sort that out. This guy will pop it up there and sort itself out. Ooh. Yeah, it's a big guy. It's a big guy, and it should really not get access to the yeah. So we shouldn't allow none, and then from here, what we'll say is we'll allow ambulances, airport police cars, and things like that. We won't do anything else up there, right? So I'm going to allow none, and we'll allow those three. So basically, we're just saying no one's going to go up to the runway, just for the sake of complexity here. So that should be done. We can clean that out. We can trim that back, and we can see about sorting out this a little bit further. Guys, that is where I'm going to end the episode. There's a lot of planning still to come in the next one. So if you've got some ideas and suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.